Okay, so we're back at the lake and we're into this little comp project. We got that aluminum plate epoxied in uh, side to side on the dash. Dash is a lot stronger and is much less likely to break here, where there was only about 3/8 of an inch of plywood underneath the helm. We built a new blank plate on this side to put the hydraulic helm on, and the helm is now through bolted through that plate, through the legacy dash, and then through that 1/4 inch aluminum plate. I don't think there's going to be any issue with strength on that. We were able to get a blue aluminum steering wheel adapter that we like, but we actually, you can see this gap. We had the adapter turned down to make this gap on purpose, because we are going to use U-Flex paddle trim on our Seastar helm. But to do that, we're going to put a custom plate on this side of the helm in the same way that the Seastar blinker trim or Pro trim mounts on those 3 bolts that are right around the seal on the helm. And then we're custom making a piece to hold a pair of these, one on each side. And we're actually going to hold, we've got water pressure trim and tack here, but we're going to actually hold a Speedo in a pod right here somewhere, and that's going to also come off that plate. So that'll be another video when we get into that. But we did get all the rot cut out of the seat box, and we got a aluminum plate bent that fits really well on there, and we've got a Garlic slider that will allow the seat to go back and forth. And we've got this is a splash of an Allison bucket that the same local shop, Extreme, that did the repair for me on this earlier, makes these buckets. And we're in the process now of, we are going to mount, this is a slide plate for a foot throttle, and we're going to mount this so that we can also move the throttle. We get a lot of kids driving this boat, and they're all different height, from 6'3" man children to 5 foot tall. And so we really need both the seat and the foot throttle to move. Somebody had previously mounted this throttle in this boat by through bolting it through the hull and the core. We were lucky that it hadn't failed the core. You can see up there where we sealed the holes, and then at one point they'd had a dead pedal or something over here. We were able to seal those, and the core did not fail in those spots. We built this, and we are going to epoxy this in like right here at these marks. And we've done a bunch of test fitting, and it fits really well right there, and the driving position is solid. And even a kid who's fairly short can reach the pedal with it all the way in the rearward position when we have it there. And so we're gonna use some epoxy, and we drilled a bunch of 1/8 inch holes to help it key in. And we're gonna tack it in place with some 5-minute epoxy on the corners, and then we're gonna go back and lay in some nice big fillets of real strong slow cure stuff. And it just seemed like it was a little clunky, so we drilled a bunch of holes in it because it seemed like it wasn't comp boat worthy. And if you saw the earlier videos, you can see how off I was on the weight of this boat. So now we're trying not to add a lot more weight to it. So then we're working back here. We need a place to mount the battery. We're going to use just a AGM big 4-stroke personal watercraft battery. And so we had this plate made that will bolt to both this inner and outer stringer. We run the strap through the center, and we can put the battery there. We can actually slide this. If we decide we don't like the weight here, we can slide this plate anywhere along in here. And we did the same thing with the plate for the oil injection tank. We are going to run the oil injection tank purely because I'm tired of listening to all these fools who say the VRO doesn't work. We're going to go out and spin that VRO right on the limiter, and then we're going to give it a 100 horse shot of nitrous just to prove a point. The Jarvik heart is not the weak link in an OMC outboard. So that's where we're at right now. Now the compromise we had to make is that we really wanted to run a short midsection on this boat. This is a shorty that we had around. This is actually a 3 liter, set up for a 3 liter looper. And when we dug into it, the conversion with that specific midsection to fit a 60-degree motor was going to be more work than it was worth. So for this year, we are going to run the tall motor on a jack plate, and then this winter we will build another short midsection for a 60-degree motor, and we will be able to run that next summer. But for now, we're going to have to run it like this. Some of the complication is that we're looking at the exhaust system, right? And this is a brand new adapter out of a 60-degree motor. This is a tank, and you can see how long it is. If you look down in there, the divider runs full length. Now, some of the guys have messed around with these motors, but they're trying to make money off what they learned about them, and so they're not very forthcoming with what works and what doesn't. A lot of them weld up this hole. They say welding up this hole helps power. There's also a set of holes in the front that go into the idle reliefs. You can see right here where I can stick my Sharpie in both sides. It feeds this chamber. That's actually comes around and that feeds the idle relief on the motor. We're going to try two things. We scrounged up a couple of these adapters, and we're going to just shorten one. We're going to cut it. We're going to take a section out of the center, and we're going to shorten it 5 inches. We're also going to build an adapter to get rid of this whole thing, and we're gonna put, this happens to be this is an old 2.4 Bridgeport tuner, 41941C. I think it's original 2.4 Bridgeport carb tuner, maybe. And you can see how much difference there is in length, right? The divider on the 60-degree motor runs to here, to right above the drive, right above the water pump level. And, it's just a crazy long exhaust system. And plus this thing is like anvil heavy. So we're going to shorten one to see what happens, but we're also going to build an adapter where we're just going to get rid of this. And we're going to put, I don't know, either a Mercury megaphone on it, or maybe a Crossflow megaphone, or a Yamaha. We got to do some math. We got to figure out the total path length from the exhaust port outlet to the megaphone edge on the various motors, and see I don't know what a 60-degree is closest to right now. I'm certain that the usual suspects have probably done this math, but I've never seen a short 60-degree motor. Everybody's doing big loopers, and so if it's out there, I've never seen a short 60-degree motor. So we're going to do that on the exhaust. Then the other thing that's really straightforward to do on these is, this is the 60-degree carb reed cage. You can see it's got dividers in it. It's an aluminum cage. It uses a standard reed plus a spacer. I'm getting all dirty from this exhaust here. This is a direct swap. This is a ficked reed cage, 60-degree ficked reed cage. So this is a 185549. These are 437591. We're going to swap over to a set of these, And then we're going to try both a set of Boysen 164Ps, and then we're also going to get a set of Chris Carson single stage reeds, and we're going to compare them. And then we're going to run the motor the first time with the little bitty carburetors right here. This is a standard 150 carb. You can see how small the Venturi is. And then we're going to switch over and run. You can see these are the big bore, aka 175 or 150 intruder carbs. So we're going to try both sets, see what the difference is. And then we're going to run the motor the first time with the 337-548, the total bathtub 150 stocker cylinder heads. And then we've got a set of 338 311s, the 175 heads. And I've got one 335 195 original 1991 150 heads. I got to find another one if we're going to run a pair of those. And then we're also going to take some 337 548s and get them whacked down a bunch for some substantial compression ratio increase. And we're going to try those. So, I hope to show everybody this isn't that we're going to be doing experiments nobody's ever done before. Like I said, I'm sure the usual suspects have run all these possible combinations. They just aren't very forthcoming with the information. And we're going to show you exactly how this stuff does, right? With the benefit of technology, we've got the stalker acceleration testing system, but we're also going to throw a draggy in the boat and see what information we can get off of that. And we hope to be running here soon in another 2 weeks, and then we'll start messing with some of these combinations. And I've got a really interesting fueling solution. I don't know if you've been paying attention. Bombardier's pricing on main jets has just become completely ridiculous. There's some sizes that Bombardier thinks the brass jet's worth $25 each. And so I've got a sort of an alternate solution to the carburetor jetting that I'm going to show you when we get to that point. But that's where we're at on the little comp Hydrostream today at the lake.